You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you to the Let's Play episode of Kingsguard. So y'all, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Chan, you were up, and let's go. Alright. You were such a diligent little kitty back then, always following orders like a dog on a leash. That side of you used to get on my nerves so much. Well, it still does now, but you've started to think for yourself. I never would have guessed you two had such a history together. It makes me a little envious that you never decided to introduce me earlier, really. The last thing I needed was to have this man influence you even more. Hey, I'm a good role model. You know, this kitty here was the reason I became a fighter in the first place. Really now? Only by coincidence. I never urged him into the arena. He did that by choice. Maybe not, but you played your part in it. You tried to recruit me in the army. I played along for a while, but it just wasn't for me. Though I did learn how to make a real mean fist. Ramos showed you, and you had to admire how hard he tried to keep it together despite his current condition. Still, you didn't doubt that even now he was more than capable to take down someone of Leandros' size in a single hit. He likely wouldn't be so lucky if he got on his bad side. Kinda makes me jealous that I've never had a friend as close as the two of you seem. Considering that I was never able to venture out much, the servants are all that I had to keep me company back at the castle. Of course, they would always find excuses to attend to already completed chores and spend time with me. What about the pets your father brought into the castle for you? The 3 cats, 4 dogs, and 2 birds? You know how that went. Right, I remember you climbing your bedpost and hiding in the canopy screaming for someone to take away those hounds from hell. Those damn birds just wouldn't shut up at night. Bad enough that I had an owl at my window that, well, you know. You live at the castle? I thought you said you were from Azite. Why do I get the feeling that you two have known each other for far longer than you initially implied? I do. I have a castle back in Azite. We've just talked quite often lately. Seems like the two of you have done far more than just talk. You're a terrible liar, Leo. You know that, don't you? I'm not lying. I knew something seemed off with you today, more so than usual. What are you trying to hide? I'm not hiding anything. What are you getting so angry about, Leo? Leandros, maybe... Jake, keep quiet. I knew it seemed a bit suspicious that a beastman, from what I'm assuming a noble, just decided to hang out one afternoon to get to know each other better. Any regular person wouldn't have soap-smelling that good while concealing himself under a cloak that shoddy. You say you're from Azite, but I find it quite surprising that the clothes you wear are more fit for one living the high life here in Havana. You glanced down at your cloak and quickly covered up. I may have terrible eyesight, but I can be very perceptive. Bring a human all the way out into Rust and meet up for a quick drink here of all places. Even you must have noticed all the beastmen glancing your way and whispering every so often. What are you getting at, Ramos? Come on, this isn't a normal kind of meetup. You're too goody-goody for shady dealings. What made you choose him, huh? I have to say, I didn't expect you to have such distinct tastes. What are you saying? You two of you are a pair, aren't you? What? I've been all around. I know the signs. You never gave the girls much of a look anyway, so I always figured. Ramos, you are reading far too much into this. He's just someone visiting from Azite. Sure. Visiting. Well, if you won't speak the truth, then maybe I'll ask your dates. What? Oh wait. What? So, have you seen it? Ramos, that is enough! Tell me, Jake, what do you see in this man? You know, I could be a suitable replacement if he's not letting on. Always glad to help out a fan. And I'm dying to know what kind of underwear you're wearing tonight. Cotton. Maybe silk? Ramos! Ramos wrapped an arm around you and gripped down on your shoulder firmly but gently, before reeling you in close like the catch of the day. You were stunned as you looked at him wide-eyed, incredulous as to his sudden advances. Why don't you and I leave the Zero and head on out? Then I can know the age-old question. Cotton or silk? Never before had you been the one to be approached so brazenly. It was a role reversal for you, and frankly, you didn't know quite how to act. I bet you're probably getting wet down there, thinking of all the things I could do to that lithe body of yours. Oh, second, y'all. Water time. Ramos, you were gonna get punched in the face. From what I hear, you nobles like riding horses. Well, you should try riding a bull, or better yet, a rhino. Your legs and lips quivered as he began to close a little bit of distance the two of you had now. Despite his rough exterior, his face and eyes held no lie. They were soft and gentle, and your heartstrings were pulled tightly by his embrace. You're frozen stiff. Your body wouldn't listen to you anymore. Even your eyes refused to shut out the image of Ramos, but even if you were in control, would you? You admired his hulking figure, his comforting warmth as his arms gently squeezed you. He was so close to you now that you could smell the ale on his breath. Part of you believed it was the alcohol that was messing with him, maybe even messing with you. You didn't even care that the other people might have been watching, and all but forgot that Leandros was just across the table from you. It all happened so fast, yet so slow. The seconds stretched out to an hour. Uh-oh, yep. Something felt seriously wrong, and you knew exactly what it was. Out of the corner of your eye, Leandros was staring down Ramos, nearly out of his seat, stretched partway across the table. He was only moments away from pouncing on him with claws extended. "I'm just pulling your leg." Ramos laughed even harder and finally released you from his embrace. It was all just a joke, yet as he pulled away from you, you felt a part of you leave as well. A desolate coldness that was all you felt, as though you were betrayed. Still, you desired to get closer just once more. "Settle down, Leo. You know I wouldn't do anything to your boyfriend." "As I've been telling you, you are mistaken. Can't believe I went against my better judgment and brought you here. You gotta loosen up a bit. I'm sure Jake found it humorous, right?" You kind of wish he would have gone through with it. "Oh? Did you really think I was serious?" No, I'm just stunned is all. Regardless, I don't think you could handle what I'm packing, though. Too puny. Why is it you always have to act this audacious? As I said before, nothing wrong with a little playful banter. That was too far. Alright, I get it. I'll try to ease up if it irks you so much. Well, regardless, whoever you are, if I can rustle his fur this easily, you are obviously someone important to him. I apologize for my impudence. Anyone who's a friend of Leo is a friend of mine. How about I make it up to you? You're still going to watch my next match, right? This bear keeps talking about how he's going to rip off my piercings. Well, how about I rip off one of his fingers just for you? Maybe something a little less extreme? And here? Could you think of doing something a little more tactful? Tactful. Got it. Been practicing a new move recently. It'll be a bit hard to pull off considering the size of my opponent, but when you see it, you'll be leaping out of your seat and wishing I had followed through with that joke. Oh, Ramos, you're so strong and handsome. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ramos joked around with the kissing sounds as he enacted the scene with hands clasped together. I don't sound like that, do I? Well, I think we've had all the fun. We've all had enough fun for tonight. Oh, leaving already? I've had plenty to drink, and I have to wake up early tomorrow to conduct drills. The last thing I need is a hangover. I have to set an example with my soldiers about temperance and restraint. Alright, I got you. I got you the first time. If only you would actually learn from it. The three of you paid the tab and left the tavern. The cool evening air and open space was a much-needed change from the rowdy and cramped tavern. Even at this time of night, it didn't seem likely to quiet down anytime soon. You sure you don't want to get in a few rounds? I'll pay. I'm certain. One second, y'all. Water time. Oh. I'm certain. What about you, Your Highness? You must have some needs that are itching to be fulfilled. Your Highness? You're the prince, right? Why do you say that? Because you used to talk about protecting the prince years ago when you got drunk. Figured I put two and two together, of course. He's got the look of royalty down already. It seems you really are perceptive. Well, no. Well, no, he won't be joining you in your nightly debauchery through the town's brothels. He'll be coming back with me. Ah, I see. Okay. Good night, Ramos. It was good to meet you in person. Heh, same here. Well, nighty-night. Don't forget to bite the pillow tight. Honestly, that man is too much. I apologize for Ramos's behavior. As you can see, he can be a bit vulgar. Might have been a rude awakening for you. It wasn't too much as a surprise. I expected as much. Even from afar, I knew he was cut from a different stone, but that's kind of what I like about him. He has that carefree attitude that most people try to suppress. I'm honestly glad I met him. I fail to see how you admire him so. Well, perhaps you'll change a different tune when you truly get to know what kind of man he is. Come, let's get you back home. Leandros guided you back through the streets and up to the castle. He remained silent and kept his pace with yours, never straying too far ahead and ensuring you were always in sight. His eyes and ears darted back and forth again, glancing down dark alleys and suspecting every shadow. It was beginning to make you nervous. Every stray cat hiss, dog howl, or bird cry caused him to jolt even though his senses were impaired by the alcohol he consumed. He gripped your hand and rushed onwards, forcing you to run to keep up with his stride. He took you to the guard barracks and eventually ended up within the castle's courtyard again where you had your lesson earlier. It was only once you reached here that he stopped acting so cautious, but he still held your hand tight. He likely would have taken you all the way to your room, but you decided that this would be a good place to part and give him some space. I should be good here, thank you. Your room is not far. I might as well see you the rest of the way. No, it's alright. You look tired enough as it is. But before you leave... You made one last look around. There was no one else here. Don't want to disturb the two of you. Would you mind finishing what you were going to tell me earlier? What you and Father were hiding and what made you so on edge? You promised me. You have no excuses. Alright, take a seat. He sat at the edge of the fountain and waited while Leandros stared up at the moon and gathered his thoughts. I suppose there is no use sugarcoating the issue. Jake, your father's life is in danger. What? How? Is he sicker? We recently discovered that someone is after your father's life. There isn't much to go by, but we have determined that it will happen soon, likely the day of the coronation. Why would someone want to kill him? He hasn't done anything wrong, has he? Or angered anyone? I know to you he hasn't seemed like the ideal man, but to the citizens he is well loved. His judgments are fair, and his decisions are only for the good of the kingdom and its people. If anyone was in the mindset to hurt him, it would have to be out of some sort of jealousy. Aside from a note Kishiro found, we haven't discerned much. If my own guess is correct, they will likely make their move during the coronation. Why is it that you didn't tell me sooner? The note was only just discovered earlier today. Even so, this is my father we're talking about. Why would you go out of your way to keep this from me? I'm sorry. He made me promise. He didn't want you to worry. We've already taken the necessary precautions to ensure his and your safety. You have nothing to be concerned about. I thought I could trust you with everything, but here you are acting the same as him. What are you going to do if all your preparations fall apart and the plan goes to hell? Would you have told me afterwards? Right as I'm staring at his grave, second-guessing what I could have done to help? What about me? Are they planning on going after me as well? I won't let anything happen to you. I will throw myself in front of a poisoned dagger for you. Leandros' hand was still holding yours, and he squeezed it even harder. I'm your bodyguard, and have been since you were born. I don't need you to be my bodyguard. Not when I have thousands. I need you to be my brother, and someone I can confide with, and someone who can trust me. Second, y'all. Water time. He pulled away from Leandros and started to walk away. Where are you going? I need some time to think. Let me at least take you to... No, you've done enough. You stopped at the edge of the garden with your hand reaching for the door. Look back. You took one last look behind you. Leandros still sat near the fountain. He was staring at the ground with his hands resting together on his lap as though in prayer. It seems I'll have to do something about this myself. It's been a while since I've had a day this hectic. You replayed the events in your head as you readied yourself for bed. So much has happened today. I want to trust Leandros' word that everything will be alright, but he can't expect me to just stay still and accept it. So soon, too. Why did they have to choose the day of the coronation? It's too soon to give up. I'm not going to let some low-life thug get the best of me. All my training has prepared me for a time like this. I'll be the one to protect myself. Ramos. I can't say that I was expecting him to be like that, but man, I never realized I could get that flustered before. My heart's still racing. Still, what if he did continue? Leandros knows I like men, but what would he say if I suddenly admitted that I had feelings for Ramos? Although his whole act was just for a quick laugh, why do I get the feeling that he wasn't being truthful? Could he really? If he goes to Rose's Cathedral, I might be able to catch him again in town before he leaves. I can ask him then. Go to bed. I'm so tired, I can't think straight. I'll revisit this in the morning. Please let me wake up and have this all be just a dream. You would have more time to plan in the morning and have more time for questions. For now, you were ready to rest. When you finally reached your bed, you found a long, thin parcel tightly wrapped in colorful paper. A note was lying next to it. Dear Jake, we didn't get the chance to see you at dinner. We assumed that you had to attend to something important. Just letting you know that your servants have been taking very good care of us so far, so please don't worry about not showing up for dinner. We understand how it can be a stressful time right now with the coronation going on. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself and eat 3 meals a day. Although we missed your birthday, which we heard was quite the celebration, we didn't forget to get you a little something we picked up on our travels. We hope you enjoy it. Dream some pleasant dreams for us, alright? Love, Marilyn and Esther. I reached over for the package and started to unwrap it. By its distinct shape and weight, you could easily tell what it was before you had even finished. Oh. It's beautiful! There was a second note in the letter. P.S. They say this blade is magic and speaks to its owner. Doesn't that sound exciting? It said no such words to us, but maybe it might be with you. You closed your eyes and listened. That was rather lackluster. Don't know what I was expecting, really. If it did talk, though, I'm not even sure what I would ask it. Maybe its name, where it was born? Okay, then, enough of that. You sheathed the blade and set it down next to your bedside. Man, now I feel terrible for leaving them alone. I'll have to make it up to them. The morning sun once again forced you awake. Last night's tiring adventure was still fresh in your mind. Maybe today won't be so bad. If you weren't too busy today, maybe you could see your aunt and uncle. You had to thank them for the gift anyway. You got out of bed and quickly got dressed. The night before was still fresh in your mind as you wandered down the halls toward the dining room. It was a bit of a surprise that you managed to get up on time. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!